The dry plains shimmered under the heat of the African sun when park rangers first spotted the weakened zebra staggering near the edge of a shallow riverbed. At first glance, they assumed it was simply dehydrated or injured from a territorial fight. But as they approached, their radios crackled with alarm. The animal's black and white stripes seemed distorted, rippling unnaturally. When one ranger looked through binoculars, he realized with horror that the zebra's skin appeared to be crawling. Its entire body was infested with millions of small worms and parasites that had taken over its coat and burrowed into open sores across its flanks. The sight was almost unbearable. Yet, beneath the writhing mass of parasites, the zebra's eyes were open, pleading for relief in a way that pierced everyone who saw it. Within minutes, the reserve's emergency rescue team was dispatched. They were trained for animal injuries, but none had ever encountered a case like this. The team's leader, a veteran wildlife medic named Samuel, quickly organized the group into action. The first task was to sedate the zebra safely before it collapsed from exhaustion. One ranger approached carefully with a tranquilizer dart gun, keeping his voice low as he steadied his aim. When the dart hit, the zebra let out a soft grunt, stumbled, and finally sank to its knees. The team rushed forward, covering its eyes with a cloth to keep it calm while the sedative took effect. The smell was overwhelming. Layers of decaying skin mixed with the damp odor of parasites. Flies swarmed thickly around them as the medics began spraying a disinfectant mist to clear the surface. Underneath, they could see thousands of tiny worms wriggling inside open wounds. Samuel ordered warm saline to be poured over the worst areas to flush out as many parasites as possible. Every few minutes, a team member changed gloves, careful not to spread infection. The zebra's breathing was shallow but steady, and that gave them hope. Another ranger set up an IV line with antibiotics and fluids, while two others trimmed away the infected fur to expose the wounds beneath. The rescue took hours under the relentless sun. When their portable water supply ran low, local villagers nearby brought additional buckets from a nearby well, moved by the sight of the desperate effort. Even some children joined in, waving branches to keep the flies away. Slowly, as the parasites were washed off and treated, the zebra's true pattern of stripes began to reappear. What had looked like a moving, gray-brown mass turned once again into a familiar black and white coat. The change lifted everyone's spirits. Samuel knew the animal wasn't safe yet. It would need weeks of treatment and nutrition, but seeing those stripes again reminded them why they had chosen this work. By late afternoon, they carefully lifted the weakened zebra onto a transport stretcher and carried it into the rescue vehicle. The drive to the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center took nearly 2 hours. Inside the vehicle, the medic monitored its heartbeat and temperature while another ranger continued to remove worms from around its hooves. They named the zebra Hope, a quiet promise that the creature would survive. At the center, veterinarians were waiting with antiseptic baths and parasite-killing ointments. The zebra was gently lowered into a shallow pool of medicated water. The worms loosened their grip and floated away in clouds of tiny, lifeless forms. For the first time in days, the animal rested without constant pain. Over the following week, the rescue team visited daily. Hope's appetite returned as she began eating fresh grass and drinking steadily. The wounds closed little by little, revealing the glossy shine of new fur. Her eyes grew brighter, and she even began to respond to familiar voices by flicking her ears and turning her head. The staff recorded every improvement, documenting the case to help future rescues handle large-scale parasitic infections. Experts later confirmed that the infestation likely began when the zebra was trapped near stagnant water during the rainy season, giving parasites the chance to invade through small cuts. When Hope was finally strong enough to stand on her own, the team guided her into an open paddock. For a moment she hesitated, sniffing the wind, then trotted forward with surprising grace. The sight brought tears to several of the rescuers who had once thought she wouldn't make it. Samuel stood quietly, watching her silhouette move across the grasslands as the sunset painted gold streaks over her stripes. The team had seen many rescues before, but this one carried a deeper weight, a reminder that even the most fragile lives can fight back when given a chance. The zebra that had once been covered in millions of parasites now stood free, her strength a living testament to compassion, endurance, and the courage of those who refused to give up on her.